Welcome to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. On this show, we use the Triggator philosophy to help you keep your budget balanced, build your savings and investments, and knock out debt with confidence. Money and marriage, separately, two great things in life. Together, well, let's just say they're not always chocolate and roses. Studies have consistently shown that money issues are the second leading cause of divorce, right after communication problems, which, let's be honest, are usually tangled up with money anyway. Today we're going to talk about something I call the marriage money triangle, the three moving parts in every relationship: you, your spouse or partner, and your money. When these three sides are in balance, your relationship feels strong, steady, and secure. But when one side is weak or the money becomes the enemy, it can tilt the whole triangle into chaos. In today's episode, we'll talk about understanding your and your partner's money personalities, how to build a team budget, not a report card budget, how to work through saver-spender dynamics without turning into referees, and how to set simple shared financial goals that actually bring you closer together. And yes, there will be jokes, because let's be honest, money fights aren't funny when they're happening, but they can be hilarious later when you tell the story right. Let's dive in. So, understanding your money personalities. If you've ever argued with your spouse about money or tiptoed around a spending conversation, you're not crazy and you're not alone. Money isn't just numbers. It's emotional, it's personal. It's history, hope, fear, and dreams, all wrapped into a $20 bill. And here's the kicker. Every person brings a different money personality to the relationship. Some of us are savers, finding peace in fat savings account and feeling like spending money is giving away a piece of your soul. Some of us are spenders, viewing money as a tool to experience life, create memories, or just make Tuesdays a little more exciting. And others, some are avoiders, hoping if we ignore money long enough, it'll somehow work itself out. Spoiler, it doesn't. Most couples have different money personalities, and that's where the sparks and sometimes the fireworks fly. A saver marrying a spender can feel like Mr. Freeze moving in with the Human Torch. Different wiring, different emotions, different views on what money means. Here's the good news. Different personalities aren't a bad thing. They can actually be a superpower if you recognize them and respect them. Take a quick reflection. Are you naturally a saver, a spender, or an avoider? What about your partner? When you have money tension, whose wiring is driving the conflict? Ready to find out if you're a spreadsheet nerd, a saver, the Amazon addict, spender, or the financial ostrich, avoider? Let's do a self-assessment. Grab a mental notepad or a real one if you're fancy and answer these questions honestly. Question 1. When you get a paycheck, what is your first instinct? A. Transfer money into savings. B. Treat yourself, you deserve it. C. Ignore it and hope that all the bills get paid somehow. Question 2. How do you feel about unexpected expenses? A. Mildly annoyed, but you've got a fund for that. B. Panicked, because the fun money is already gone. C. Surprised because you didn't see it coming at all. Question 3. What best describes your relationship with budgeting? A. Love it. Spreadsheets, charts, highlighters, the whole thing. B. I have a budget. It's more like a wish list, honestly. C. Budgeting sounds great. I should try that someday. Question 4. How do you feel when you see a big sale? A. Meh, if I need it, great. If not, I'm good. B. Excited. What can I buy? C. Confused about whether you even have money to spend. Question 5. You find a $100 bill on the sidewalk. What do? A. Deposit it straight into savings. B. Spend it on something that you've been wanting. Free money, baby. C. Carry it around for a week trying to decide, then accidentally spend it on snacks dollar by dollar. Question 6. What is your reaction when you hear the phrase emergency fund? A. Got one, building it bigger every month. B. Sounds important, right after I grab that new video game, books, or purse. C. Wait, What's an emergency fund again? Question 7. When it comes to financial advice, you A. Read books, listen to podcasts, maybe even track your net worth monthly. B. Follow financial influencers, but mostly for entertainment. C. Avoid it because it stresses you out. Now tally your answers. If you are mostly A's, you're a saver. If you're mostly B's, you're a spender. And if you're mostly C's, you're an avoider. Remember, there's no wrong answer. Recognizing your money wiring is the first step towards working better with your spouse, not against them. You can't build a strong triangle if you don't know what sides you're working with. Now, here's where it gets even more complicated. Even savers have some things that they are spenders on. Likewise, some spenders have some things that they are amazing at saving for. People are not simple, they are complicated, and sometimes even though a part of their personality is one way, hit the right button and the feelings do a full 180. There's a classic scene in The Simpsons that shows exactly what not to do. After Homer, the spender, buys a high-end, expensive set of sneakers for $125, Marge, the saver, reminds Homer they agreed to consult each other before any major purchases. Homer says, "Well, you bought all those smoke alarms, and we haven't even had a fire." Of course, Marge is not a spender by default, but she knows the value of safety for her family, so spending on smoke alarms is no problem. Then Homer makes the huge mistake of accusing the saver of being an irresponsible spender like he is. As Grandpa Simpson and Jasper once said, "Sounds like the doomsday whistle. Ain't been blown in nigh on 3 years. Trouble a brewin'." Understanding these personalities doesn't magically make the argument vanish, but it changes the fight. It stops being, "You're wrong," and starts being, "Oh, you see money differently than I do. Let's figure this out together." Here's what you want to find out with this quiz and self-reflection. Your default setting. My default setting is a spender, but my wife has a default setting of a saver. Don't think about what you want to be. Focus on what you actually are. Hypothetically, if I came and looked at a month's transaction history, would it show a saver or a spender? That's a good way to see your default. All right, now that you know your default setting, it's time to build a team budget that respects both sides of the triangle. Coming up next, I'll show you how to build a team budget where nobody's the boss, nobody's the child, and nobody's the bad guy. So building a team budget, not a report card budget. Now that you know your default money setting, let's talk about building a team budget. Notice I said team, because if you're treating your budget like a report card where one person gets to grade the other, you're not building a spending plan, you're building resentment. And nobody ever looked forward to parent-teacher conferences of doom. Think of it as the financial equivalent of a buddy cop movie. Two distinct personalities working together towards a common goal. One's the meticulous planner, the other's the spontaneous spender. Together, they balance each other out, creating harmony from chaos. Here's the mindset shift. A good team budget is not about assigning blame. It's about creating alignment. As the great coach Herman Boone said in Remember the Titans, if we don't come together right now on this hallowed ground, we too will be destroyed. Okay, that was about high school football, but honestly, it fits marriage and money too. You have to come together, not just coexist on money. Actually team up. So how to build a team budget? Step 1 is plan a budget date. This is your first rule. No ambushes. Don't hit your spouse or partner with, "We need to talk about the budget," right as they're trying to binge Ted Lasso or collapse after a long day. Instead, set a time in advance. In fact, make it an event, even if it's small. Pizza, favorite drinks, a music playlist, something that signals, hey, we're a team and we're building something awesome. You're not holding court, you're hosting a planning party. Step 2, look back before you look forward. Before you make your spending plan for the time ahead, take a no-shame look at what was behind you. Where did the money actually go? This isn't about pointing fingers, it's about understanding reality. Here's a quick stat. According to a 2023 survey by Fidelity Investments, 36% of couples say that money is their greatest relationship challenge, even ahead of issues like chores, intimacy, or time together. When you look back together, surprises become lessons, not landmines. Here are some questions to ask. What worked last month? What didn't? Were there any oops moments that we can plan better for next time? Step 3, build the next spending plan together. Here's the magic formula. Income, what's coming in this plan. Essential spending, what has to be covered, rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, etc. Non-essential spending, this is where you have your fun money, date nights, hobbies, things like that. And then, of course, your savings and investing, that's your emergency fund, your big goals, things like retirement, depending on where you are in your Triggator triangle. Here's a pro tip. Give each person a small amount of guilt-free spending money. No judgment, no micromanagement, no explaining. It's like a pressure release valve of your financial life. As Elsa wisely sang, let it go, let it go. Step 4, agree on one shared goal each spending plan. This is the secret sauce. We're going to talk a little bit more about this later in the episode, but I want you to pick one financial goal to chase together each spending plan. Whether that be pay an extra $200 towards the credit card, add $100 to your emergency fund, or save for a weekend getaway. Small wins build momentum. Momentum builds trust, and trust changes everything. Start small, start messy, just start together. Because here's the truth. Money problems rarely destroy marriages, but money secrets and money loneliness, those can. When you're budgeting as a team, there are no secrets. There's no loneliness. It's you, your partner, and your money. Each side holding up the triangle strong. Let's recap. Set a budget date, no ambushes. Review last month without blame. Build the next spending plan together. Pick one shared goal for that spending plan. Small steps, big connection. Coming up next, how to work through the saver-spender dynamic without turning into referees. Yes, there will be whistle jokes, obviously. So how do you handle those spender and saver dynamics without turning into referees? All right, so you've got your team budget. Now, what happens when the spender wants to go YOLO on a new TV and the saver wants to pay extra on the mortgage? Insert a mental image of both partners sprinting towards the referee, yelling about pass interference. Good news. You don't have to become referees in your own marriage. You don't need a whistle. You don't need a penalty box. You just need a game plan for when your money personalities collide. As the great philosopher Michael Scott once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. Which is a good reminder, but maybe not when you're trying to take a shot at Best Buy. How to handle spender-saver tension like a team. Step 1, validate, then problem solve. Before you launch into, that's irresponsible, or you never want to have any fun, pause. Validate first. Example, I get why you want a new TV, and that's awesome. Let's figure out how to work it into the plan. Or, I understand you want to crush the mortgage. Let's see if we can carve out some fun money too. Validation doesn't mean automatic approval. It just means you're treating your partner like a teammate, not an opponent. A quick research note, a study published by the Journal of Financial Planning in 2022 found that couples who practice active listening during financial conversations report higher satisfaction and lower conflict than those who immediately jump into problem solving. In other words, listen first, problem solve second. Or else it's a shouting match with calculators. Step 2, create a dream list. Here's a trick that I love. Instead of arguing about, should we buy this or save that? Create a shared dream list. It's simple. Both partners write down 3 to 5 things they want to spend money on, short-term or long-term. No judgment allowed. And then prioritize together which dreams you want to chase first. It turns arguments into strategy sessions. It turns me versus you into us versus the goal. Plus, it's fun to dream together. It's kind of like planning a heist, but legal. As wise poets in ABBA once sang, money, money, money must be funny in a rich man's world. Your dreams don't have to cost millions, be elaborate, or even spend anything at all. Your saver might dream of an early retirement or a fat emergency fund, and that's just as powerful. These dreams just have to matter to you two. Step 3. Use the pause and plan rule. Here's a simple agreement you can make. Any major purchases outside the spending plan, whatever major means to you, whether it's $50, $100, $500, those get a 24-hour pause. During the pause, you talk about it, look at the plan, and decide together. No guilt trips, no power plays, just pause and a plan. It's kind of like putting cookies on top of the fridge so you actually think before eating the whole pack. After seeing the progress my wife and I made in our own financial journey, a couple who are good friends of ours invited us to be their accountability partners. In this couple, the husband was the saver and the wife was the spender. The saver was struggling because the spender had something they absolutely loved, cruises. However, the saver saw cruises as a waste compared to other priorities. Hopefully this raised some red flags for you right away. Where's the no judgment? To the spender, cruises weren't just frivolous. They were important. A saver might have 1,000 better ideas for the money, but that doesn't change the fact that emotionally this mattered. At first, the saver proposed a plan that left out cruise savings completely. Naturally, that plan wasn't going to work with the spender. Because as we talked about, your spending plan has to work in real life. When they finally listened and really listened, the solution was surprisingly easy. Their plan: no going into debt for a cruise, savers happy. Set up a savings goal in the spending plan dedicated to cruises, saver and spender happy. Lastly, the cruise fund is exclusively for cruises. No guilt, no reallocation. Spender is happy. That's simple, fair, respectful. And most importantly, a team win. Quick quote from Tony Robbins. The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. And the quality of your financial life is the quality of your money conversations. Every time you pause, plan, and dream together, you're reinforcing the team over tension. And that makes the marriage money triangle stronger. And that's how you win together. Validate your partner's feelings before solving the money problem. Build a shared dream list to make spending goals exciting, not explosive. And use the 24-hour pause and plan rule for major purchases. Less whistleblowing, more goal chasing, more pizza parties after financial wins. Coming up next, how to set simple, shared financial goals that actually bring you closer together. The final corner of the triangle. Okay, you've got your team budget. You've figured out your money personalities. You're validating instead of refereeing. Now it's time to put the cherry on top. Setting simple, shared financial goals. Because here's the deal. When you and your partner are chasing the same goal, you stop arguing about the little stuff and you start celebrating the wins together. As Dom Toretto wisely taught us in Fast and the Furious, you don't turn your back on family. And when it comes to money, you don't turn your back on a shared mission either. When we started this episode, we placed money as the third point of the triangle. And usually when you hear triangle in a relationship, you think of conflict or even cheating. But this triangle is different. The third wheel in your relationship shouldn't just be money. It should be a shared financial goal. Think about it this way. If you and your partner are a mile apart financially, one an extreme spender, the other an extreme saver, it's almost impossible to close that gap if you're just arguing about who is right. But if you add a third focus, a shared financial goal, even if it's also a mile away, each step you take towards that goal brings you closer to each other too. The closer you get to the goal, the closer you get to each other. Stay focused on the goal, and eventually you'll find yourselves fully in sync. Bonus points if you can build your goal around the Triggator triangle: budget, save, and pay off debt. So let's pick a shared financial goal and start moving forward together. Step 1, pick just one goal at a time. I know, you want to save for a house, wipe away the credit cards, max out retirement, fund your kids' college, build a 6-month emergency fund, and buy a yacht named Debt Free and Fabulous. But slow your roll, Captain Ambition. One goal at a time. Focus brings momentum. Momentum brings belief. Belief brings big changes. If you are miles apart and you pick a small goal that's only 100 feet away, each step you take towards that small goal will bring you closer to alignment with each other than the mile goal. Some example starter goals: pay off one credit card, save $1,000 emergency fund, save for a 3-day weekend getaway without using credit cards. A quick study. According to a 2021 study published in the Journal of Economic Psychology, people who set specific, singular financial goals are 43% more likely to succeed than people who set broad or multiple simultaneous goals. Specific beats vague always. Once you can find your sync in small goals, your starting point for medium and big goals is from a point of being closer together. That gives you power to get to that big goal faster and as a team. Step 2, make the goal visible. Out of sight, out of mind, and out of money. Find a way to see your goal every day, whether that's a savings tracker on the fridge, a countdown app on your phone, a jar that says debt-free Disney trip fund in the kitchen, or you can check out the Triggator app for some fun things there. Visual cues keep motivation alive, because otherwise life happens and that new TV at Costco starts whispering your name again. Cue the Pointer Sisters. I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. That's how you feel about hitting your next money milestone. Step 3, celebrate progress, not just perfection. If you wait until your debt is completely gone or your savings account is perfect, you'll miss dozens of chances to build excitement and momentum. Celebrate every milestone. Some examples: for the first $100 saved towards a trip, have a pizza night. Paid off a small debt, do an ice cream date. Hit your emergency fund goal, a movie night in. Celebrate progress like it matters, because it does. Marriage is already hard enough without feeling like you're stuck in an endless financial treadmill. Wins, even small ones, keep you running together. I love this from Henry Ford. He says, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. When you chase financial goals together, you're not just building wealth, you're building partnership. And that, my friends, is how you keep the marriage money triangle strong and steady year after year. Another quick recap: set one goal at a time, specific beats vague. Make your goal visible. Daily motivation is greater than daily distractions. And lastly, celebrate progress, not just perfection. Okay, today we broke down why money fights happen, why saver-spender clashes don't have to be doom, and how to turn budgeting into a team sport instead of a courtroom battle. Because your marriage isn't just you versus your spouse versus your money. It's you two, together, building something stronger than the struggles. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be a team. Your challenge: the partnership money check-in. Set a budget date with your spouse or partner, even if it's just 20 minutes. Remember, this is a date, so feel free to get some pizza or something. Do a money personality check-in. Saver, spender, avoider. Where do you both lean? Pick one shared financial goal for the spending plan ahead. Again, no lectures, no guilt trips, just a conversation and a commitment to build your triangle stronger. Bonus: if you want to share how your check-in goes, or if you hit a hilarious bump along the way, email me at podcast@triggator.com. I'd love to feature some listener stories in an upcoming episode. Before you go, make sure you follow and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss a daily episode. Leave a quick review because seriously, it helps others find the show, and I do read every single one. Share this episode with a friend who's newly married, soon to be married, or just needs a little money teamwork reminder. And of course, follow us at Triggator on X, Facebook, and Instagram for daily tips, encouragements, and memes, because you can't budget well without a little laughter. Next time on the podcast, we've talked about how money isn't just math, it's emotional. In our next episode, we're talking about financial love languages, how some people see savings as love, other people giving gifts as love, and why mismatched money languages can cause many relationship fights. You'll learn how to recognize, respect, and respond to your partner's, and your own if you're single, financial love style before it turns into financial friction. Get ready to decode what money love looks like and why it matters more than you think. Your money isn't just numbers, it's a mission, and you're strong enough to win it together. This is Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm Nate Tanner. I'll see you next time.